Once you are over 50, you'll often hear that you should exercise, but then almost everything you're shown is light. Light weights, easy exercises, lots and lots of repetitions, and very little progression actually. But here's the problem. If we want our muscles to remain strong as we get older, we still have to give them a reason to become stronger. Now that doesn't mean lifting the heaviest weight you possibly can. And it certainly doesn't mean ignoring joint problems, previous injuries, or your current ability. It means learning how to challenge your body appropriately. So today I want to show you how I think about strength training after 50 and what you should know before you start. I'm Maurice Visser, I'm a biokineticist, and I work with adults in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and even 80s. And one of the things I think we need to change is the idea that strength training somehow becomes inappropriate once we reach a certain age. Actually, maintaining strength becomes increasingly important as we age. We need strength to stand up from a chair, climb stairs, carry groceries, get up from the floor, controlling our body when we lose our balance. So the question isn't really, am I too old to strength train? The better question is, what is the appropriate strength challenge for me? And that's a very different question. One of the first mistakes people actually make is asking, how heavy should my dumbbells be? But before I worry about the weight, I want to look at your movement. So let's use a squat as an example. So can you comfortably actually stand from the chair? How are you doing it? Are you compensating? Are you controlling the movement? Are you leaning too far forward? Are you shifting dramatically toward one side or the other? Does something feel uncomfortable? Do you have a little bit of pain? Because if the movement itself is being limited, simply just adding a heavier dumbbell may not be the best first step. This is exactly where H Strong begins a little differently. Before we simply build something, we need to restore or improve the movements first. Your starting point is individual. And that is why I don't particularly like putting everybody into a beginner, intermediate, or advanced right from the start. In the H Strong system, your beginner, intermediate, or advanced programs start only once you are in the build phase and not before that. Because like a beginner athlete, an advanced athlete can also have mobility restrictions, compensate or train with, or even worse, through discomfort. So by simply categorizing you into three camps is not always the right solution, especially as we get older. So rather than asking, what level are you? I prefer to ask, what does this movement need right now? Does it need to restore? Something is limiting your movement, so maybe you work on mobility first or deal with some pain or discomfort. Or we improve your movement. You can do it without discomfort and compensation, but we can make it so much better. So we're working on controlling technique or breathing during your movements. That might be a better strategy for today. Or we can build. You're moving well and you're ready for a greater challenge. Now we can actually load your movements safely. And remember, you aren't in the restore, improve, build phase, so to say, but some of your actual individual movements might be. This is actually an important one. People often assume lightweight equals safe and heavyweights equals dangerous. It's actually not that simple. A weight can be too heavy for you, but a weight can also be so light that it never really challenges your muscles. And even doing a good exercise with a light dumbbell with poor technique or limited movements can set you up for dysfunctional movements, compensation, or discomfort at a later stage. Because repeating a poor movement pattern over and over becomes your movement pattern no matter what weight you use. And that is why good quality movement we usually work on in the improve phase is so important. If I could comfortably perform another 20 repetitions, this probably isn't providing much of a strength challenge for me anyway. So now compare that with a resistance where the final few repetitions require genuine effort. While I can still maintain good control, that's very different from simply lifting something recklessly heavy. The goal is always appropriate challenge, not maximum weight and not minimum weight either. But how do we actually measure the right intensity? Which brings us to my next point. Learn to judge your effort. One of the simplest tools I use is your rate of perceived exertion, or RPE. You don't need to make this super complicated. Imagine a scale from 1 to 10. 1 is extremely easy and 10 is your maximal effort. So for many strength exercises, I want you to gradually learn what a moderately challenging effort feels like. You finish the set knowing, I worked, but your technique hasn't fallen apart. You're still breathing. You're actually still controlling the movement, and you probably had a few repetitions left in the tank if you absolutely needed them. That's a much more useful skill than simply saying people over 50 should use a 2-kilogram dumbbell, because 2 kilograms might be difficult for one person, but it might also be too easy for somebody else. Number 6, progression is what makes you stronger. Now, let's say you've been doing 10 sit-to stands from your chair. At first, they feel difficult. A few weeks later, they actually feel easy. Now that's good, you've adapted to the actual exercise. But if you continue doing the same 10 repetitions forever, your body has less reason to actually keep adapting. So we progress. And progression doesn't always mean adding a huge amount of weight. You might just add more repetitions at first, or maybe add more sets, or maybe a little resistance. Use a slightly lowered chair. Increase the range of movement, slow down part of the movement, or progress to another exercise within that movement family. Sit to stand, goblet squat, a loaded squat variation. The principle is simple. When your body adapts, the challenge must gradually adapt too. Number 7, train movements, not just the muscles. Now this is also why I like organizing strength around fundamental movement patterns. With H Strong, we start with 5, the squat, the hinge, the push, the pull, and the carry. They are the foundations. If you look at any strength and conditioning or functional programs, you will find these 5 movement patterns in there. As you become more confident with them, we can actually expand each of those into a wider family of movements and exercises. A squat can become a step up, a split squat or a lunge. A hinge can develop into a different lifting pattern. Push, pull, carry can progress in exactly the same way. So rather than collecting random exercises, we gradually expand what your body is capable of doing. Number 8, recovery is part of strength training. There's one more thing I want you to consider. You don't become stronger during exercise itself. Training provides the stimulus. Your body then needs time and resources to adapt. So recovery matters. Sleep matters. Nutrition matters. And giving the muscles appropriate time between harder training sessions actually matters. More isn't automatically better. The goal is to provide enough challenge to stimulate adaptation and enough recovery to allow that adaptation to happen. And remember, exercise is a stress that you apply to get a favorable response to that stress. Improved neuromuscular strength, improved VO2 or cardiovascular capacity, increased muscle, bone density, and even metabolism and immune function. But a poor recovery will either deliver poor results or overstress an already stressed system. So if you're starting a strength training program after 50, remember these principles. Strength still matters. Look at the movement before adding load. Find your individual starting point. Lightweight doesn't automatically mean safe. Challenge appropriately. Learn to judge your effort. Progress gradually. Train useful movement patterns, not the muscles, and allow yourself to recover. And perhaps most importantly, don't train according to your age. Train according to your current ability. Then progressively build from there. Getting older doesn't mean your training needs to become smaller and smaller.